Good afternoon, Facebook, YouTube, Dailymotion, and Twitter. This is Rich again, back for your second video blog of the day for Wednesday, March 11th, 2015, around 4:42 in the afternoon in Billerica, Massachusetts. Nice and sunny day, highs close to 60. A lot of the snow's melting, which is pretty good. And it feels like a spring-type day. It's going to be the last spring-type day for a while because back to normal temperatures, and maybe Saturday, Sunday, some rain and snow mix. Some news to report: the Boston Red Sox beat the New York Yankees in preseason action by the score of 10-6. A-Rod hit his first home run of the spring, and also the Brooklyn Nets are no longer for sale. And the Colts have signed Andre Johnson, wide receiver from the Titans, just now. And that's about it on the news. My next subject of the day is about the TD Garden. The TD Garden is the premier sports arena venue in New England. It is the home to the Boston Celtics, the Boston Bruins, and so many other events, and it's year-round. It's on Causeway Street in Boston, right above North Station. The TD Garden opened in 1995. The history of the TD Garden. The TD Garden replaced Boston Garden as the arena for the Bruins and Celtics and the premier sports arena in New England. Background on it: the Boston Garden was built in 1928, and by the late 1960s, the building was aging, and there was talk about replacing the garden as early as like 1969 to some places in the Boston area, but they were just talk for several years. In the early 1980s, there were rumors that the Boston Celtics were going to build their own arena in Revere, Massachusetts, right near Wonderland, close to the Blue Line, and the Boston Bruins were going to build their own arena up in Salem, New Hampshire, and Rockingham, near Rockingham Park, but those two plans did not come to fruition. It would have been very tough for the Bruins to build an arena in Salem, New Hampshire, because there's no public transportation there, and besides, arenas in the suburbs don't draw for sports teams. Most of them don't, and that those plans fell through. In 1985, the Delaware North Company that owns the Boston Bruins, it's the Delaware North's owned by Jeremy Jacobs, won the rights to build a new sports arena in Boston, but they had it to be temporarily on hold because the financial situation in the mid-'80s wasn't the greatest, and the new arena for the Bruins and Celtics was stalled for several years, and the garden was continuing to age, and there was talk that by the mid-1990s, the Boston Garden was going to close down, no matter if the Bruins or the Celtics had a new arena or not. In 1992, the Delaware North Jeremy Jacobs groups got the funding to build a new arena, but they wanted help from the Massachusetts state government, and you know how the Massachusetts state government is to give public funds for a sports complex. They don't give it to them, and they voted it down several times. By February 1993, the Jacobs and Delaware North were going to pull out of the new garden project that would have probably destroyed it, and it probably would have left the Bruins and the Celtics homeless in 1995, because that was the year the garden was going to be closed down. But at the last minute, Jeremy Jacobs got new funding and Delaware North, and it was going to be a privately built arena for the tune of $160 million, and it was going to be built slightly north of the Boston Garden. Slightly north means 9 feet from the existing Boston Garden, on top of North Station, and the groundbreaking for the new Boston Garden, which was going to be called Chalmette Center, started on April 29th, 1993, and it took 27 months to build, and on time. There was a couple of delays due to cold weather and snow, but it was built on pretty much on time. During 1994, Chalmette was merged with Fleet Bank. Chalmette was a bank, and it merged with Fleet Bank, so it became the Fleet Center. In In September of 1995, the Boston Garden hosted its last event, a Bruins Montreal Canadiens exhibition game, and they closed it down. And the new Fleet Center opened September of 1995, and it was amazing. It seats 17,565 for hockey, 18,624 for basketball. It seated concerts 19,028, and it seated for professional wrestling 19,028 people. And the Fleet Center had like new like state-of-the-art stadium seats, because at the old Garden they had wooden bleacher seats for most of them for years. The Boston Garden did not have good air conditioning and stuff, but the Fleet Center had like air conditioning and stuff. And also the Fleet Center had luxury boxes and sky boxes and personal seat lighting, which that takes millions of dollars for an arena. And like the Boston Garden lacked those. And the tenants for the Boston Garden, the Boston Bruins, owned the Fleet Center because Jeremy Jacobs, the owner of the team, and he also owns Delaware North. The Boston Celtics are tenants. They don't pay any rent to use didn't pay any rent to use the Fleet Center or the TD Garden, but they don't get too much concessions from the food there or the merchandise or the parking, but they get free rent. And also the Fleet Center hosted many events, including every year the Hockey East tournament. They had NCAA first and second round games there in 1999 for the basketball. Also had the regional finals in 2009 and 2012. A lot of WWE action has happened. House shows, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, WrestleMania 14, pay-per-view King of the Ring in 2000, Royal Rumble in 2003 and 2011, Survivor Series in 2008 and 2013, and also they have had the Beanpot Hockey Championship there every year. They have high school hockey tournaments, the state finals, division, the Super 8s, Division 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, men's and a few ladies. They've had some high school basketball tournaments there. They've had gymnastics, indoor soccer. They were home to the Boston Blazers of the National League Lacrosse, which was an indoor hockey league. They had a few games of arena football, but they never had an arena football team there. There were some like regular season games for other pro teams. They haven't hosted a WNBA team yet, and there's a lot of concerts that happen at the TD Garden. In 2005, Fleet Bank merged with Bank of America, and part of the deal was, even though Fleet signed a 20-year lease naming rights agreement, if they got sold or merged with any other company, the deal could have been voided, and it was voided, and there was talk it was going to be called the New Boston Garden, but they had like TD Bank in Toronto, Canada buy the naming rights, and so it's called TD Garden. And TD Garden has like a scoreboard that it's a video scoreboard, which is pretty awesome. They never had it at the old Boston Garden, and the scoreboard for the higher top the garden has been like renovated a couple of times to add HD to it. In 2006 and 2009 they had other renovations to TD Garden by having LED signs. They expanded the food concessions there. They have all kinds of food there, like pizza stops, station shops, hot dogs, hamburgers, tacos, fish, salad, you name it. So many concessions. Plus they have a couple of restaurants in the TD Garden, Legends and stuff. They also have the pro shops going to relocate inside the TD located inside the TD Garden. The other one in North Station is going to close down eventually, and the TD Garden is centrally located on Causeway Street in Boston, right off of 93, plus the commuter rail North Station trains. They could get a lot of them. Also the Green and Orange line, and also at the TD Garden, there's many restaurants on Causeway Street or the surrounding streets like Canal Street, Friend Street, Portland Street, and a few others. All of these restaurants do mega business during Celtics games, Bruins games, and any other any other TD Garden event during the year. The busiest seasons from like October when Bruins season starts to playoff season, depends if the Bruins or the Celtics make it, which sometimes it could last to June. TD Garden has hosted 2 NBA Finals, 2008 and 2010, and 2 Stanley Cup Finals, 2011 and 2013. And TD Garden's the most premier sporting venue in Boston. And in a few months it will celebrate its 20th anniversary, and I think the TD Garden is going to be around maybe 40, 50, 60 years. They'll continue to renovate the TD Garden for a long time, and it's better than the Boston Garden in my humble opinion. And the seating is amazing because it was built where you could have a great view to any of the events there. There's some arenas that they built, there's so much obstructive view seats for any sporting event or concert, which is not good. But the TD Garden is an amazing venue to go to watch any type of game. I've been to the TD Garden many times for Celtics games, Bruins games, and WWE events. And that's about it on the TD Garden. And I'll be back, third and final video blog of the night, which will be about the personality profile, will be about former college basketball superstar and former NBA player Christian Laettner. See you later, Facebook, YouTube, Daily Motion, and Twitter. Have a good day.